So what I'm going to go over today is everything that I do before the actual listing appointment, and then I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I do after the appointment, starting before I actually get the listing. So a couple of things take place. We of course do our cold calls, we use our scripts, we try to set the appointment. Once we have a confirmed appointment set, that's when everything gets put into motion. So the first thing that we do is we create a pre-listing packet. And what a pre-listing packet is it's simply just a kind of packet that we send out to the actual homeowner. Depending on when the listing appointment is, we may drop it on the door or we'll just overnight it there. But the pre-listing packet is super important because what it does is it gives them a lot of information about me, my process, everything like that before we even step foot in the door. And so we want people to have this just so that they know what to expect. So let me show you my pre-listing packet. So this is what my pre-listing packet looks like. The name of my real estate team is Founders Real Estate Group, and I get these done at Office Depot. They're super inexpensive. The only thing that did cost a little bit of money was the cover page. So the cover page is this, and I actually got them printed. It's printed on a cardstock, so you see that it's nice and sturdy, full color, and it goes all the way to the edge. We print all of the things that go inside the pre-listing packet here at the office, and then take this cover, take it on over to Office Depot, and they do the actual binding of it. It takes just a couple of minutes, so it doesn't take a lot of time. This we normally spend around $3 to $5 on, depending on what we're getting made. But in the actual listing packet, on the first page of it, you see it looks just like the cover page, but it's actually printed. We put their name down there because we want every one of them personalized. And then the first page that they see is the table of contents page. On this page, I'll just read off the things that are in here. It's about us, as featured in, what sets us apart, our core values, what others have said, performance overview, online reach, active properties, sold properties, market analysis, marketing schedule, social media, print, advertorials, worldwide reach, and selling process. And basically what those are just fancy names for testimonials, our track record, our history, accomplishments, the current state of the market, and all that type of stuff. And so the first page, of course, is my biography, and it's not a full-on biography because I don't want them reading for days, and just different awards that I've received, how we're different from everybody, and then what we believe in, because I think that it's important for people to know actually like what my core values are. And I have things in here such as my faith. I have things in here talking about the culture, integrity, all that type of stuff that I'm not ashamed to say to people, because I want them to know kind of who they're actually working with. Then we have our testimonials, and we have graphs for performance, and then even talking about our relocation company. Now, when we get into things like the social media reach and marketing schedule, that gets a little customized for each property, because there are certain things that we don't do if it's a property under a certain amount of money, because it's just not, it's not very effective. And so certain things like getting it in certain newspapers or luxury home magazine, some of those things aren't even needed and don't even fit the demographic of who reads those magazines and who reads those newspaper articles. Then we talk about our print, and these are things that I actually bring to the real listing appointment. I bring examples of the brochures and postcards and everything like that we're gonna send out on their behalf to market the property. Now we get into the comps. Now this is what gets placed into each pre-listing packet that's different for every packet that we do. And so in addition to the first page of the packet and the marketing schedule, then we put the actual comps. The comps I like to do in full color, and I include photos of all of the comparable properties that, you know, so that they can actually look at while we're sitting there talking. it does them no good just to maybe see information about it. I know a lot of agents, they'll just put the sold price and how many days on market and all that kind of stuff, but I want them to see the actual insides of the property so that they can know how it compares to their property. Oh, one thing with the comps is I don't put a suggested list price. That's something that we discussed at the actual listing appointment. Then I do the selling process. So everything that we do to get the home sold, when we do it, all that stuff. And the first step in my process is this pre-listing area. And so I even talk about them receiving this pre-listing packet, and so that they know that we're following our process. After that, I put all of the agreements related to the property that we're gonna go and get signed at the listing appointment. So I put the listing agreement, I put the seller's disclosure, anything else I like them to have ahead of time so that they know what they're getting themselves into when we visit. I send these in a very large envelope, and even if we drop them on the door, we put them in a very large envelope that sticks out, and so that way they actually open them. So that's what we do for the pre-listing, and we do this when we actually have an appointment confirmed or an appointment set. The next thing that I do, once we send the pre-listing packet, one day before the listing, well actually 2 days before the listing, but most times we're gonna do this kind of pretty quickly after we make the appointment, is we send them a video, and I'll actually give you a little preview of the video that I send to their email address so that you can kind of know what gets said in that video. So take a look. Hello, my name is Chasen J. Miles, and I'm the team leader of the Chasen J. Miles team here at Rogers Healy & Associates in Dallas, Texas. My team and I are super excited that you've selected us to sell your home. In preparation for our first meeting, I ask that you have 3 things handy for us. First, your most recent survey. If you still have it, that would be great. We are going to need this for the buyers of your home. Second, we're going to need an additional key. So there will be a lockbox placed on your home, and so we'll need a key to put into it. So if you can get one ready for us, that would save us a lot of time. And lastly, we're going to need your completed seller's disclosure. This document will be given to buyers who have interest in your home, and it's going to tell them about everything that you know personally about the home. Attached to this email is a copy of that document for you to fill out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Other than that, we look forward to seeing you soon. After they receive that video, the next thing that we do, and we definitely do this 24 hours before the actual appointment, is we call and confirm it. So we call to make sure that they got everything, and then we confirm the appointment, and so that way we know that they are set to meet with us. Sometimes people back out you know, when they receive the pre-listing packet, and that just simply lets me know in my head that we may be a little too serious for them, or they're already ready to cut on some commission, or you know, whatever, and it simply weeds out the bad people. But I don't necessarily change my process or stop just because some people may cancel. But for the most part, people will keep their word, and we still go in and meet for the appointment. So go to the appointment, and we show up, we do everything that we need to do. Now, after the appointment, after we leave, within 30 minutes, and this is normally on the drive home, and it's whether we got the appointment, or I mean whether we got the listing or not, because sometimes they just don't turn into an actual listing, or they want to think about it. I call them and thank them for their time. I thank them for their time, and I simply say, dear, you know, hello Mr. Seller, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come and meet with you. I hope you found the information beneficial. I know that you're busy, and I just wanted to let you know that I really appreciate it, and it was great meeting you. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, or you can send me a text message anytime. I'm happy to answer any questions, but the purpose of my call was just to thank you. So have a great rest of your day, and I hope to be talking to you soon. I say that on the way home, it's just that one extra step. And then if we did get the listing, so if we signed a listing agreement I place an order to have some cookies delivered to them. We have a great cookie delivery service here, and so I will get some cookies delivered to them that same day, and all I put in the message is, this is how sweet it's going to be when your home sells. So just going above and beyond. And those are pretty much the things that I do before I get the appointment and then after we leave the appointment. And so feel free to take this and implement it into your business. I feel like this has been great for us, and what it does overall, I mean, I know that stuff is nice, but what it really does, especially for those people that are meeting with multiple brokers, is it sets us apart. We did all of this stuff before we even got the listing. So just imagine what's gonna happen when we actually put your home on the market. So it's just kind of like one of those little preview things.